What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
And this week on The Great Debaters, getting into Spice 1, debut major label album. Yes, everybody. So Soren Baker here on The Great Debaters, Amir, Rahimi. And today we're getting into the debut album, national album that is, by Spice 1, the eponymous self-titled debut album, Spice 1, 1992. So Amir, what was going on when you were first getting introduced to Young, the East Bay Gangster?
You know what? I think I actually listened to all of his stuff in order. Because maybe I'd heard like Dumping Them in Ditches first, but then I bought all his albums in order. Started off with Let It Be Known, so that's very important to the Spice 1 album because a lot of songs were taken from Let It Be Known EP and put on the Spice 1 album. And with that being said, I do have the Let It Be Known CD right here, dope EP. Also, with that being said, one of my picks is from the Let It Be Known EP, and that would be In My Neighborhood, which is also track 1 on the Spice 1 self-titled album. So, In My Neighborhood being one of my picks, really like the instrumental, really like the sample. It's just another one of those songs that I feel like a lot of artists have in their catalog where they talk about where they're from, their city, more specifically like their neighborhood, their specific like block, their surroundings, what's going on in them, whether it's just from a third-person view or from a first-person view. I like to hear both angles. Spice 1 does some storytelling on this. He talks about what's going on, whether it be cops, whether it be drugs, whether it be gunplay, etc. He covers that, and I thought he did a good job. And I thought it was interesting to like lift the songs from Let It Be Known and put them on the Spice 1 album, because we had seen things like later on, like with Ice Cube's, for example, America's Most Wanted. On repressings of that album, they just added the Kill It Will just for fun or to sell or whatever the marketing was behind it. Priority Records, they did that. But this, Spice 1 and maybe the label, whatever, they just took songs directly and just put them on the album. So I thought that was interesting. I just wanted to let that be known, no pun intended. That is my first track pick.
Definitely a good song, not one of my picks, but it's always interesting to me the rationale for what you're describing of you put out something independently and then you get a bigger deal, in this case Triad Records, then to go to Jive, is an interesting progression, and then to, decide which songs to use, which songs not to use when you go national is always interesting, and we've seen it time and time again in rap, and it had happened already at this point in 1992 several times, and even in the Bay with Too Short, Need 40, and The Click, of course, getting their deals with Jive, and then Spice gets a deal with Jive. So for me, not one of my picks, but my first pick is 187 Proof. And I really like this song because of all the liquor and the storytelling references and how he's telling the story with all the liquor stuff. And I just thought that was clever and ingenious. And even though I've never had a drink in my life, I've heard of, all these things. And even at that time, I was trying to figure out what songs were drinks, what were alcohol. It was just interesting to me to hear how he came up with that, and then to hear him really break it down in such a clever way. So, and I like the music on it too, but this one, the lyrics in particular, really stood out to me.
So that's also one of my picks, 187 Proof. So on the Let It Be Known, that's also on there. However, it is, in this instance, it's different because on this, it's part 1. Then just looking at this, it says 2 minutes and 48 seconds. And then looking at the tape, it says 187 Proof. It doesn't say part 1. It just says 187 Proof, and it says 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So in that instance, he did add some more beef to the song. And this song is just, I love concept songs like this, like just to mention Cube again, because I just mentioned him, I love like with Cube and Del the Funky Homo Sapien, who helped write that song as well on A Gangsta's Fairy Tale. I thought that was clever. I see similarities from that to this, as well as just other artists who did similar things. I know LL Cool J, Soren Baker is one of his favorites. My Rhyme Ain't Done. I love his wordplay on that. But Spice One does it excellent, and he does it in a very gangster way, a very explicit fashion where you have all the alcoholic beverages, and I think it's very clever how he's intertwining it. And then also, me being a little bit younger, I didn't know that, I just don't know when things are coming out, so maybe Soren would know this, but, Gin and Juice, I thought that was something that, Snoop popularized, but in here, Spice One is mentioning Gin and Juice. This came out before Doggy Style came out, so listening back on that, I'm like, oh, so how many other rappers mentioned Gin and Juice, and how often was this how long was this a popular drink? So these are things that I kind of hear, growing up and whatever, and I'm just like, I just wasn't there for that time, so I just kind of have to ponder and ask around. So I find that interesting because he mentions Gin and Juice in this song. And then also I like how it's clever at the end. He says, Endo smoked them all. I'm just like, so that's funny. So he's getting away from the liquor, but Endo smoked them all. I just thought that was very clever. So definitely one of my favorite tracks on that one. That's my second pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely phenomenal, and glad we're eye-to-eye on that, because moving into my next pick is one of the songs that really made me pay attention to Spice One, because listening to this album and getting into it is Money Gone. Now, it's in the beginning of the album, but then also, as we see with 187 Proof, this also, granted, it's more of just a street tale, but his flow and his style is so atypical and so distinctive that it really kind of caught me when I first heard it. And I love the production by Blackjack as well. I thought it really helped accentuate his stylistic deviance here, deviating from his normal type of style. And I just thought it was amazing with that kind of stuttery flow that he did throughout the song. To me, that's one of the things I like about rap so much. And recently we did the video with DOS Effects that you guys can check out if you haven't already. But just when artists bring these different styles and different ways that they perform or deliver their lyrics that are kind of different or imaginative or distinctive, it really stands out. And then when I think it's done well, as is the case on Money Gone, it really stands out to me. And I just have always really liked that song, man. I thought it was great. Alright, so that's my second pick. Amir, what about your third pick?
Third pick, if I recall, nope, it's not. It's not from the Let It Be Known. This is Peace to My Nine. This song, not only is it not from Let It Be Known, you can also tell that it's recorded just in a different time for Spice One, because I can tell that he just sounds older in this. And it's funny because it's not like it was 10 years later, but you can just tell because, he was just young when recording these releases. This one, he does sound older. Definitely a difference from, In My Neighborhood. If you just listen to In My Neighborhood and Peace of My Nine, you can just completely tell. But Peace of My Nine is very more of, Spice One's lane. Very gangster, very, thugged out lyrics where he's talking about his 9mm, he's talking about tails, he's talking about there's just a lot of killing going on, and I really like how you hear Spice One is starting to speed up his flow on this. It's not like the stuttery flow like Soren was talking about, even the kind that I'd heard on Dumping Them in Ditches when I'd first heard Spice One, but here you start to hear him speed up a bit. And Spice One is one of those rappers who does very well, I think, when he raps just fast, and I don't want to say fast in the sense of a twist of fast, but fast just in his kind of way. It's just really great. The stuttery flow, and he brings that in, is also great. This song, I really like the tails he does. His two verses are very long, so it's not like a 16 bar verse. It's just longer, probably over 20 bars. I don't remember the number, but very, very well done. I really love the sample. In the chorus, Ice Cube, of course, I've already mentioned a couple times in this, but Spice One, this was such, in my opinion, a really awesome album, and it really made me excited to hear his future releases too, like we had heard with 187 he wrote, we'd heard with America's Nightmare, just really, really, really good stuff. So Peace by Nine was one of those that I really liked, and it kind of introduced me a little bit more to like his more rugged side in comparison to like In My Neighborhood and other songs. So that's it.
Peace by Nine is not my third pick, but building on the rugged theme of is my third pick, which is Fucked in the Game. And that one, I realized two of my top 3 picks are Blackjack produced or co-produced and stuff. And I just thought that Blackjack on the production side really helped bring out a lot of gems. And with Fucked in the Game, I really thought Spice's kind of ferocity kind of shined through in a different way than on a lot of the rest of the Spice One album. And I just thought he kept it super gangster, but I also thought it was like a vocal focus that I really appreciated and really enjoyed. And I think that ties into what Amir's saying is with Let It Be Known, and with some of the songs that were older, you could tell the different sonic, the different studios they would have used and how things sound and feel when you're listening to them. And I think Fucked in the Game, I don't know if it's that because of Blackjack's recording or how they did it or Spice One's mood or what have you, but whatever the reason, I just thought that song is so hard, and like the storytelling in there I thought was great, because much of Spice One revolves around murder and mayhem and chaos and all this stuff, but Fucked in the Game, I thought the stories were very well executed, no pun intended. So that's my top 3. You guys got Amir's top 3. As always, please hit us in that comment section. Like, subscribe, and share. Unique Access Entertainment comments. We can keep growing and keep coming to you guys as often as possible. So please, subscribe to Unique Access. Hit us up. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
Thank you, Spice One.
Be sure to check out The History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Your MTV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.